Hello guys, welcome back to LearnTube. In this video, let us understand Bootstrap 5 and its core files. This is a very important video because even though many people use Bootstrap, they don't know the purpose of the files that Bootstrap ships. In the last video, we saw how we set up our first Bootstrap project. So guys, keep watching. I don't believe it. jQuery is dead. Well, though Bootstrap in v5 has dropped the support for it, however, it still works. That means you can still use jQuery if you are obsessed with it. But, I don't recommend you to use jQuery. Let's not uncover what Bootstrap 5 eventually buried with a lot of sweating. People love Bootstrap because one can easily learn and apply it. Bootstrap solves 4 most important problems. First one being responsiveness. Everybody wants responsiveness. People want their website to look awesome immaterial of how they are viewing it. Be it a laptop, desktop, mobile, and devices with different screen sizes. They want the site to fit properly in the device browser. This is called as responsiveness. Bootstrap ships with multiple files. One of which is bootstrap-grid.css. This file is the CSS file which helps you with responsiveness. Coming to the second problem, how would you feel if your site looks different on a different browser? Worried, right? The same website may look different on different browsers, and to normalize this behavior, Bootstrap uses a file called bootstrap-reboot.css. A few years ago, this was a huge problem. Thanks to this reboot file which brings in much needed cross-browser consistency. Coming to the third problem, this one is about bringing uniformity and styling across various HTML elements and controls. This means your fellow teammate and you are going to create radio buttons that have a similar look and feel. Bootstrap ships with bootstrap.css, which includes the grid and reboot CSS, plus it gives you tons of classes to style your HTML elements with, such as tables, divisions, buttons, etc. It also includes utilities.css, which we'll talk a bit later. Bootstrap.css is the only CSS file you ever need. The final problem is about ease of using native CSS. Many people find it difficult to use native CSS, especially when working with margins, padding, borders, spacing, alignment, and many more. To make their lives easier, Bootstrap provides utility or helper classes to quickly style HTML elements without using native CSS. That is why I say, Bootstrap is fabulous. After seeing so many Bootstrap CSS files, you would be wondering about which CSS file to choose? Well, it depends on you. If you want all features of Bootstrap, then you must use bootstrap.css. Now all these files also come in a minified version such as bootstrap.min.css. Both these are the same except, min files are production optimized files which are very less in size. You must use min files when your code is production ready. What if you want only responsiveness and nothing else? In that case, you will use only the grid and reboot CSS. In case you want only utilities, then you will use utilities and reboot CSS. If you are using the first file, that is bootstrap.css or its min version, then you don't need any other Bootstrap CSS file. I think you got it now. In most of the cases, you won't require JavaScript in your Bootstrap development. However, there are few use cases where Bootstrap JavaScript is needed along with another external JavaScript file called popper.js. Read the above cases by yourself carefully. So also, if you want to control Bootstrap effects via JavaScript code, Bootstrap JavaScript files come to rescue. In the upcoming section, we'll speak about various JavaScript files that are shipped with Bootstrap. Now, similar to CSS files, Bootstrap also ships some JavaScript files. Remember, we spoke about an external JavaScript file called popper.js. This file is included in bootstrap.bundle.js. That means, if we use bootstrap.bundle.js, we don't have to worry about popper.js. The second file is bootstrap.js, which is the same as Bootstrap bundle.js, however, it does not contain popper.js. So, if you don't have any functionalities that require Popper, then you should be good with Bootstrap.js. It is recommended to use a minified file once your code is production ready. Finally, the ESM version of the file is the same as Bootstrap.js, which can be used as a JavaScript module. We will talk about this later. At this point, you learned that Bootstrap ships with CSS as well as JavaScript files. Next, we will see how to get these files. You can download all the compiled CSS and JavaScript files from the given URL. I am also putting this URL in the description for your easy access. Hit the URL and click the download button. If you don't want to download Bootstrap files but still want to use it in the pages, then there is another option. It is a Bootstrap CDN. CDN stands for a Content Delivery Network. I will put the above link in the video description so that you can easily find it. This CDN provides cached versions of Bootstrap files, which reduces your work of putting required Bootstrap files in your project. You may simply refer the URLs in your pages and your Bootstrap should work like a charm. As of now, you have gained a lot of knowledge on Bootstrap files. I would ask you to go back to Chapter 1 where you had set up your first project. Try to identify which files you had used. Secondly, you have also downloaded the Bootstrap compiled files by clicking the download button. Try to explore the files on your own and relate what you learned. There is one more type of file you will see in the download folder. These are map files. Map files are meant to provide debugging support when you use minified files. You should not refer these map files in your production-ready code as a best practice. You have to use it only during the development phase. Mostly, you will never use these map files. But, knowing what they are is useful. This video is a part of the LearnTube Bootstrap 5 tutorial playlist. Find the playlist URL in the description. Thank you for watching this video. If you like our videos, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any updates from our side.